Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Hello, everybody. Maybe. I don't know if anyone's out there yet. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. It's like we're having some low internet quality today, too. So I apologize in advance right now if things are kind of coming and going, but hopefully you guys can still stick around and we can have some fun. We can talk about Disney here tonight. So first off, we are back in Studio A, the original studio. I flew up today to Wisconsin to surprise my mother for her birthday. I always call her mother. I never call her mother. I don't know why I said mother just now. But I flew up here today to surprise her. So today we're going to come to you live from Wisconsin, and we're going to be going through and doing kind of a shorter episode-ish, but going through and answering your questions. Hey, Shelly, how you doing? Well, like I said, I think the internet problem or the internet connectivity issues are a little bit down from what they usually are. So I apologize if it's not as high quality as we are used to, because I don't think it's on your side at all, but right here I have like a little gram showing how much power or how much connection we're having to the internet. So we're a little bit further down, but yeah, today we are coming to you from my childhood bedroom. This is actually the first place where we ever had the Wednesday show 739 weeks ago. And then also 738 weeks ago, 737, 736, etc., etc. I think it was like the first 12 episodes are filmed in here. And then we moved next door to my brother's room. And then from there, we moved to Florida. So, yay. Okay. So tonight we're going to be doing an Ask the Expert segment where we're going to go through and answer any and all Disney questions that you have out there for me about anything and everything Disney. We'll give people a few more seconds here to log on. Can you guys, is it working for everyone? Right now, Shelly's is the only one that's coming through. So hopefully other people are coming through and it is actually working for people out there. But like I said, it is showing that we are having a little bit lower quality than we usually have. So I do apologize. Is there a way I can fix it or no? Connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging it into a router or moving closer to it. A little bit closer to it. Oh, it is coming through. Oh yeah. I'm bummed. I don't know. I didn't know they checked if you were supposed to be there when you arrived by boat or bus. They usually haven't in the past. I actually have not seen an official sign by Disney. I've just seen something that someone else started. So I'm not positive that's actually going to be the actual truth or not. I have to actually see the thing. But I've seen a person who usually does spread rumors was the first person to state this one. So I don't know if it actually is a true statement or not. But I have seen a few other people who've said it as well, who usually do share correct information. So I really have no clue what is going on with the Fort Wilderness thing. Okay, let's get this party started. We're going to start the 740th episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 740th episode of the Wednesday show. Today is October 25th, 2023, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today, we're going to be going through and answering your questions about anything and everything Disney. So if you guys have any questions about anything and everything Disney, start throwing them into the comments now. So then when we finish our little introduction, we can start going into your questions right away. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. First off, thank you everyone who's been joining us for our Saturday in the park. Now, if you know by now, which I'm assuming most of you know by now, we usually go live from the parks every Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern. However, this Saturday, I will still be in Wisconsin, so we will not be having it this weekend, but we will be coming back the following weekend, where it will be at a different time than 1 o'clock, because it'll be the day where I am doing the 189 10K, so I will most likely be probably sleeping from after going back home and showering and getting ready for the race. But make sure you join us every single Saturday besides this Saturday for our Saturday in the Park. Also, as always, we are continuing to do a daily Disney video, and that's not going to stop us when we are here in Wisconsin as well. Make sure you keep on checking out our daily Disney videos over on my YouTube channel, and of course, our YouTube shorts as well. Now, I would say we would try to do an extended show tonight, but I'm going to try to do a limited show tonight, mainly due to the fact that I am home. I want to spend some time with my parents. So we're going to be probably doing about a 45-minute episode compared to what we usually do. Now, here is the last bit of news, and it is a bittersweet kind of news. So let's get to it. Over the last about 12 years, maybe 11 years, I don't know exactly when. Maybe I should have actually looked up the specific area. But over the last 11 or 12 years, we have started the show and ended the show by talking about our sponsor for the show, the amazing It's All About the Mouse Travel. Unfortunately, our friends over at It's All About the Mouse Travel have decided to retire, and they have sold their travel agency to another travel agency called Destinations to Travel. So if you guys want to get your Disney travel destinations, make sure you go contact them over there. They have taken all of our amazing travel agents that have become some very dear friends throughout the years over there as well. But of course, that does mean that we do not have a sponsor for the show anymore. However, I would like to now start pointing out that tonight's episode is sponsored by my good friends, my Patreon pals. As always, so if you guys want to be a Patreon pal, make sure you go check out my Patreon link so you become a Patreon pal as well. And if you've ever gone to one of my YouTube videos, you've probably noticed at the very end of the video, I do list off all of my Patreon pals. So thank you, Patreon pals, for continuing to support me, and also happy retirement to our good friends over at It's All About the Mouse Travel. I will miss our partnership, but of course, our friendship is still going to keep on going strong. Okay, let's get to tonight's episode. As always, tonight we're going to be doing an Ask the Expert segment where you guys are going to be throwing out your questions about anything and everything Disney. So start throwing your questions into the comments below right now, because if you don't start throwing in the comments, we're not going to have a show. This is going to be about anything or everything Disney. Right now, I don't know if the chat room's working for everyone. My phone is over here vibrating like crazy. I don't know if that means we are getting messages from people saying, hey, it's not working right now for me. No, it's not. It's just other people sending me messages. Okay. Wait, are you still receiving the royalties for the It's All About the Mouse Travel Jazz Hands? That one? I had someone who brought this up recently. So before It's All About the Mouse Travel, we had some other agency. I'm not going to name because we had a falling out, but it was a weird, long, crazy drama story on their end. And I feel bad for the travel agents still, who are 13 years later still having repercussions from it. But when I would do theirs, I would always say it's absolutely positively 100% free. And then when I started having the sponsorship by It's All About the Mouse Travel, I started doing that as well. And I remember one day about 2 or 3 years ago, someone's like, where did that come from? Like, is that their actual slogan? I was like, no, I made it up. I made it up 13 years ago, and I just keep on saying it. So yes, I guess I continue the royalties. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, hey, any other questions out there? Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very short episode here. Again, we are doing an Ask the Expert segment tonight. So if you guys have any questions about anything and everything Disney, make sure you start throwing them in the comments below. You know what? We actually did have, today was my Ask Me questions on my Instagram thing today. Let me see if anyone out there sent a question in that I've not answered yet, which I'm sure there is, because today was a lot crazier and a lot busier than I originally intended to. What is your favorite movie at a Disney park, whether it's the China film, the Norway film, no longer there, Muppets film, etc., etc., etc.? Oh, that's a good question. So if I had to go through my favorite film in any Disney park, that's a really tough one. Because like the first one that pops in my head would be American Adventure, but that's, in my mind, it's actually an animatronic show. There's just movie elements, a lot of movie elements in it. So I would not throw that in there. So if I'm thinking of things that are 3D shows, I mean, granted, we do have China, we've got Canada, far and wide, and we also, if you go into the past, we also have old Canada ones too. We also have things like Captain EO that used to be around. Um, Cranium Command. No, there was the Cranium Command pre-show was really good though. I do like the Cranium Command pre-show. Okay, if my favorite one, I'm gonna say Mickey's PhilharMagic. I've loved Mickey's PhilharMagic since the first time I saw it. And if I had to choose a favorite film that's on Disney in a Disney park, it's probably Mickey's PhilharMagic. If you've never experienced Mickey's PhilharMagic, you are missing out on life. Another great one from the past, which is no longer around, and it's sadly not even, it was never in the US. It was Cinemagique, which was a show that went through the history of films with Martin Short going through the films, and he was like a silent film star. Then he became like a romance star, and it went through this entire long storyline. It was great, but it also did involve real actors too. But it was a great film. If you ever had a chance to see it, I'm very happy for you, because when we went to Disneyland Paris 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I don't know, it's been a while. When we went there, we watched it like 5 times because it was so good. And then when they announced it was going away, I was so bummed, because I still, in my mind, I think that was the best attraction that they had at that park. Oh, wait, are you still? Oh, wait, I already answered that one. Keep throwing your questions in the comments below. We are going to continue answering as many questions as possible for the next 45 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, start throwing them down, because otherwise we are almost out of questions. Do you think they will ever change the phrases for the 50th statues? Like the phrases that the characters actually say? They do. So they actually, right now they're on the third, right? I think it's the third time that they've actually changed the different things. Now, what they've also done is they've had it so during like Halloween time, they'll have different things if you're at the Magic Kingdom. They'll also have it so there are ones over during the Christmas time throughout all the parks where they'll play like little Christmas music and different things like that. But they will also change out the things from time to time as well. So if you go to some of them now, some of them actually do have like 6 or 7 phrases, because it's the original phrases plus the next generation of phrases, and then the next generation after that. So they have been adding different phrases in there, and then they have changed out the little music as well. So I think they're going to continue to change out the phrases and have it so maybe they add some more, maybe subtract some. But overall, I do think it's really well done on how they have it. So every time you go by, you might hear something completely different. Or if you're like me, you just keep on getting the which is played on every single one of them. And it drives me crazy because I get it all the time. All the time. All right, let's go to our next question here. Questions are slowly coming in, but keep on throwing the questions in. We're going to continue answering all of your Disney questions as we go through here. Where was the Viking ship playground in Norway in relation to the country today? All right, so the head of it. Okay, let's pull up the map. It's where the gift shop is currently sitting when you exit the meet and greet for Anna and Elsa. So if you go over to the Epcot Pavilion, you go through the meet and greet area. That meet and greet area, that building that's there, and where you actually go through the queue, that spot was actually trees. And then the actual boat was found where the actual gift shop is. We're going to try to pull up the park map here so you guys can actually see exactly where it is to this day. Well, not to this day. It's gone. That's why you asked the question of where was it in relation to it. But we'll do a fun fact about this while we're on it too. So, come on. There we go. So where the green roofed building is at the very top of your screen, that was actually where the Norway shop is. That is now called the Wandering Reindeer, I believe, right? Wandering Reindeer. Let's go to shops. Oh, it doesn't say it on there. I'm pretty sure it's called the Wandering Reindeer. And if you actually go inside the shop, you can have it. So there are different like paintings and stuff in there. And then if you look at the border that is found above some of the shelves, that is actually the same border that was found on the ship. So what they actually did was they actually reused some of the wood that was on that Norwegian Viking ship, and they actually took it and they placed it into the brand new location that it's still sitting at to this day. Well, not to this day because it's gone, but but in that same location where the Viking ship once sat is where a gift shop sits. And because of that, in that gift shop, you can find some of the wood that was actually used on that Viking ship to kind of pay tribute to the fact that that once sat there. Now I'm talking about it, and maybe I'm thinking maybe we have to do a video sometime, a short video sometime in the near future showing exactly where the border is. How long ago was the ship there? So the ship was there up until about 2017. I want to say it was 2017. So it was there from 1988 when the pavilion first opened, all the way up until about 2017 when they started to make way for the entire Norway attraction, or not the Norway attraction, but the Frozen Ever After attraction. So when they got rid of Maelstrom, they started going through and creating it so it's going to become Frozen Ever After, which is still to this day. One of the other things they said they're going to do was they're going to actually add in a meet and greet area for Anna and Elsa, so guests could go through and they could actually meet Anna and Elsa during the day. So when they did that, they decided they were going to get rid of that, and some people started to speculate at the point that part of the attraction was actually going to go back to that area because they never actually said where the ride was going to go, or if it was going to be part of exactly what Maelstrom was, or if they were going to completely cut out Maelstrom and build a brand new attraction there. But when they did that, they started to do construction in other parts of the area, including at this spot. And so that would actually disappear about a year after Frozen Ever After would close, or I'm sorry, open up. And when that would go through, then we would eventually get the Viking ship gone and then the meet and greet area located there as well. I want to say 2017 is when the Anna and Elsa meet and greet actually came into that area. Maybe it was 2018. I know for a fact that it was there in 2019 because in 2019 is when Frozen 2 debuted in theaters, and the day it debuted, I went to see the movie the night before, and then the next day was the first day that Anna and Elsa were going to be doing meet and greets at the pavilion in their Frozen 2 outfits, and I went over there to go meet them, and then while I was in line, they actually had it so Olaf was in line too as a surprise meet and greet, and it made my day. It really did. I was really excited about it. So that would have been, in 2019, and then before that, the meet and greet had already been around for a while. So I would say 2017 is when it actually disappeared. If you're just joining us right now, we just had a bunch of people who just joined us. It looks like we are doing a Ask the Expert segment tonight. So we are going through and answering your questions about anything and everything Disney. So if you have any questions about anything or everything Disney, make sure you throw your questions into the comments right now because we are looking for questions right now to go through and answer. In the meantime, let's go through and see if there's another question on our Instagram story. Then maybe we can actually have another question from someone out there. So if you have a question that you would like to throw out there, throw it into the comments right now about anything and everything Disney, and we will get to it after this one. Okay, our next one here is favorite mini golf course and hole at Disney. And hole. All right, my favorite mini golf course is probably Fantasia Gardens, not the Fairway side. I like the Fairway side a lot, but I think the Fairway Gardens is probably my favorite one, which is the one where you actually go through all of the different Fantasia scenes and you go through the different characters and you go through the mountain as well. Overall, great course. I absolutely love it. I honestly love all 4 courses. I try to do all 4 courses at least once or twice every single year. And every single one of them, I think, is well worthwhile. If you've never done a Disney miniature golf course, you are missing out on life and you need to go out and experience it at some point. But my favorite hole overall would probably be, I don't know why I'm saying this. No, not that one. I would say I like there's the one with the drunk guy. he's the drunk god. He's the god of wine, and he's at the top of the hill, and you have to hit it up the hill. And if you hit it too far, it goes to one section. And if you hit it too short, it goes through a little hole that shoots you into the far section. But if you hit it just right, it goes right down into the main area. And if you hit it that way, 9 times out of 10, you get a hole in one. And I really like that one a lot. But everything that's on that one course, I just think is great. I think the theming of all 4 courses are great, but that's just, I love everything about that one course. All right, let's go to our next question here. Is Impressions de France still being shown in the France Pavilion? Yes, it is. So at one point, it was being shown only for the last 2 hours of the night, and then it went through and it was only being broadcast during the first 2 hours of the day, and now it's back to being shown at the last 2 hours of the night. So depending on when you go, it might switch up, but right now it is still being shown, and it's being shown the last 2 hours of the park open. So from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, you can go experience Impressions de France over at the France Pavilion. What's your opinion on the make your own brioche ice cream sandwich in France? We all know how much I love ice cream. I love ice cream so much. I do. It's my I was gonna say my weak point, but I think it makes me stronger. And the worst ice cream on property, in my opinion, is the France Pavilion. I just do not like the ice cream there. I have had some decent ice cream there, but overall, if I am going to go for ice cream and I'm in the France Pavilion, I'm going to take the extra walk and go out over by International Gateway and exit the park and walk the quarter of a mile to Beaches and Cream and get a No Way Jose 100% of the time. Every now and then I'll go to the France Pavilion, and only time I will ever go into the France Pavilion for the ice cream is mainly due to the fact that I'm with other people and they want the ice cream there, and they don't have a park hopper or they don't have a lot of time to be in the park. But the last time I was there was when my brother was in town last February, and they only had one day at Epcot and one day only, and the kids wanted ice cream, and we didn't want to have it like we wanted to maximize the entire day. And because we wanted to maximize the entire day, we said, okay, we're going to have ice cream here. And all I could think was, I feel so bad that in No Way Jose, it's within half a mile from where I'm standing. And it probably feels like I cheated on it. And if you're out there, Jose, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Because it's not as good as the No Way Jose. But yeah, that's my opinion. I don't know. The ice cream over there, it's just not. The bakery, amazing, but the ice cream, no. Can anyone take a tour of the Disney Animation Studios in California? It's pretty much by invite only, or by knowing specific people, or by having it so you go through and actually like know someone who's there. Or there's different contests, like D23's had some contests throughout the years. At one point, the D20, or not the D23, the Adventures by Disney, they had it so that was part of the tour where you could actually go through there and do that. When I did my Adventures by Disney in Southern California, we got to go in the Walt Disney Studio, but we didn't go across the street to the Disney Animation Studios. So it really is kind of a hit or miss on how you can do it. I personally have never been there. I've seen it twice with my own eyes, like from the street. I've seen it. I've seen the Sorcerer's Hat, and it's beautiful, but I've never actually been there. And that's one of the things that I really want to do in life at some point, is to go to the Disney Animation Studios. But it's just kind of a tough thing to actually be able to do. I know someone who actually was just there last week. There's a Imagineer who follows all my stuff. Hey, if you're watching. And he posted some pictures on Facebook the other day, and he was over there, and I was so jealous. I was so mad. It's like, why does he get to go there and I can't? Especially after I've watched Once Upon a Studio like 50 times. I feel like if you watch Once Upon a Studio 50 times, they should just automatically give you a pass to go to the Disney Animation Studios. Happy birthday, Judy. Hugs to all y'all. Oh, so nice of you, Frank. Frank is probably just bummed because that means he's going to be at Disney for one day without me there. So I apologize, Frank, but what you going to do? What did you think was the most obscure character in Disney Once Upon a Studio? Who were you most excited to see? The most obscure one, hands down, in my opinion, was, I was going to say the Robin Williams one. I'm going to stay with Robin Williams one. There's another two that, there's the Us Again characters, the two dancers from the short cartoon, and they were very obscure, but they're still like relatively new, and I feel like not a lot of people saw that short, and that's why I would say it's obscure. But I think that the character of Robin Williams in that scene when Olaf is on the animation table and he's drawn on the animation table, and it's right before Timon and Pumbaa walk through the hallway, you see this little lost boy. The lost boy was actually from a cartoon called Return to Neverland, which started off in 1989. It was a video where Robin Williams and Walter Cronkite took you through the animation building and showed you how animated characters were actually created. Great video. If you can go find it on YouTube, I highly recommend going to find it on YouTube, because it is a great video that goes through the entire process, and it's a great just historical video of how animated characters are created, and it's also just a great historical video of what a Disney attraction was like back in 1989. It's probably about 20 minutes long, maybe 25 minutes long. Maybe it's a lot shorter. It's probably a lot shorter, and I'm just remembering it wrong. But it goes through, and in the thing, they turn Robin Williams into a lost boy. And so that's the first character that goes by that window. And I think it's probably the most obscure, because the only way you could have actually seen this character was by going to Disney MGM Studios from 1989 to about 1995, 1996. So overall, I think that was the most obscure character of them all. And then who I'm most excited to see? Scrooge McDuck. Actually, every character. When Orville, Bernard and Bianca flew out of that painting, I was like, oh my gosh. And then Rhino was awesome. I was like, holy cow. And every single time, having Cody from the Rescuers Down Under being held by Elliot the Dragon from Pete's Dragon, there's just so many great characters in that short cartoon, and every single one of them, hands down, it's my favorite short cartoon. I literally watch, when I say 50 times, I don't think I'm exaggerating. I have seen it so many times. I think today it might be the first day since it came out last week that I've not watched it once. And I will have to change that later on. I think I will go through and watch it sometime in the near future, because it is definitely worth checking out. If you're just joining us, make sure you send some questions into the comments. We are going through and having it so we answer any and all questions as we go through here. Can you tell us more about Bernie Madison? What was he most famous for? Okay, so Bernie started off with Disney animation back in the 1950s. He knew Walt Disney. He is one of the few people, he's not an original animator, but he was kind of the start of the second wave of animators. So when you actually go through the history books of Disney, at first you would probably say, oh, he's not one of the biggest names, which he probably is not one of the biggest names. But he was one of the he was the longest person ever to work at Walt Disney Animation. He worked there for 70 years throughout years and years and years. When he first started, he was working on things like Lady and the Tramp, Sleeping Beauty, different films like that. And then he would eventually go through and have it so he was working on the short cartoons for Winnie the Pooh, which eventually would turn into The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, the 1977 film, which combined 3 different Winnie the Pooh short cartoons into one full-length feature animated film. Now, when they would do this, fast forward to about late 2008, 2009, somewhere around there, and Disney started to work on a brand new Winnie the Pooh film called Winnie the Pooh. Very, very, very creative name. And that film would eventually be released in 2011, maybe 2011. I'm pretty sure 2011, but it might be 2012. 2012. I'm staying with 2012, but I could be wrong. Anyways, so when they created the Winnie the Pooh film that was done in 2012, 2011, I can't remember exactly the year right now. I want to say 2012. Someone look it up and let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to be going crazy the rest of the night. And when they created that film, or when they released that film, or when they were creating that film, they said, oh, we would like to have it so it has the same look, the same feel as what we had in the original Winnie the Pooh films. And it's too bad that we don't have anyone who worked on those original shorts. And they're like, wait a minute, Bernie did. So they would go through and actually consult Bernie, and Bernie became not the director of the film, but he became probably one of the most influential people in the making of the brand new Winnie the Pooh film. And he had kind of the expertise of out of everyone there, because he knew exactly who the characters were more than anyone else, because he had worked on the original ones. He knew their characteristics. He knew how they would interact with each other. He knew the movements. He knew pretty much everything and anything dealing with those specific characters, along with so many different characters throughout the years, but specifically the Winnie the Pooh characters, that when this film was being created, he was one of the most influential people for the creation of the film, mainly just due to the fact that he had worked on the original one so many years before. So overall, unbelievable animator. He has done so much work throughout. I mean, if you've watched any Disney animated film from any time back in like the 50s all the way to now, there's a pretty high chance that Bernie had some part in it, whether it was really small or really large. He had some sort of influence on either the character design, the way that they moved, the way they interacted with each other, or so much more. So yes, hopefully that answers your question. Can you repeat the name of the video with Robin Williams? Yeah, it's called Return to Neverland. Return to Neverland. So it is or you can also just search Robin Williams, Walter Cronkite animation video, and I guarantee that'll come up too. But Return to Neverland is the official name of it. And it is amazing. It's so well done. It's one of those videos that still to this day I will watch probably every maybe 2-3 years. I'll go back and watch it. And after watching the short cartoon Once Upon a Studio, I went back and I watched it again because I was like, it's just so cool that he's in there. And I don't know how many people actually caught that he was in there, but it's so cool that he was in there. Just one of my favorite little details. Treasure Planet was even represented. Every single animated film was represented in some way, shape, or form. The fact that Johnny Fedora and Alice Bluebonnet were in there blew my mind. Like when I saw them, I was like, holy cow, like this film has everyone. It was just unbelievable how many different characters are found in there. The Great Mouse Detective's in there. The Black Cauldron's in there. Actually, the Black Cauldron has quite a bit of representation in there, which I was kind of blown away by. Like in one shot, you can actually see 3 different characters from that movie all within the same shot of each other, which is just crazy. Or 3. But you see Gurgi in a different shot. But you see Princess Ailani, Taran, and Henman all together at one point, and then you see Gurgi at another one. So overall, just absolutely crazy how many different characters are found in there and how they all are interacting with each other. And it's just so well done. This is not as comfortable as my desk. Keep throwing your questions to the comments. We have about 10 minutes left here to answer any and all questions. I'm on my bed, my childhood bed. Side note, this is legit. This is where the Wednesday show started. It was right here on this bed, and we would sit here and we would talk for hours and hours and hours about anything and everything Disney. And then, 4 books and 740 episodes later, and a YouTube channel later, and all that other stuff. Actually, this is where I launched my first video. I was sitting here and I was talking to the people, and they said, hey, it'd be kind of cool if you made a YouTube video. And I was like, hey, here we go. And so I threw it out there. I liked when Antonio told Joanna, don't eat them. I love that too. That was one of the best. Seeing Joanna in there was great too. Now that I think about it, is Nick Cleach in there? I don't know if he's in there or not. We'll have to look. Was your mom surprised? My mom was very surprised. She did not think it was going to happen, mainly due to the fact that I got next week off of work for the Wine and Dine Half Marathon, so she didn't think I was going to be here. I have 2 weeks back to back in a row. But I said, who cares about a job when you have a mother? That's the dad's motto. Kids, don't take this motto with you. You should work. What is happening with the outside of the living seas? So right now it's just they're getting updates. One of my friends works over the living seas, the Seas with Nemo friends, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" He said, "They're just refurb." It's the characters on the walls do go through, and they have it so they will go be taken down, or the pictures of the fish and stuff and the birds. They all go down about every 4 to 5 years and just kind of go through and have it so they're remodeled and retouched and repainted and everything else like that, and they'll be back up there. So my friend has said that yes, they'll be up pretty soon. So we'll see when. Shocked. She was shocked. We need to watch it frame by frame together. If it wasn't illegal, if I wouldn't get hit with a copyright claim, especially on Facebook. Facebook, you can't watch like 5 seconds of something without getting a copyright claim. Are you looking forward to Run Disney Wine and Dine 5K, 10K, and half marathon? Question mark. 22.4 miles. A Figment. L is cockier than Louisa running. First off, it's Mirabelle. It's not Louisa. Okay? That's Mirabelle. This is what I have to deal with on runs, guys. I just want to point this out here. Frank is a terrible Disney fan. He's calling Mirabelle Louisa. Louisa's the sister. Mirabelle is this one, okay? So in the medal, the main character in Encanto is Mirabelle. Louisa's her sister, who's the strong one. Wait, the website says Louisa? Oh, all the different. Wait a minute. Now we have to find the picture of the medal. Does it really? Okay, we're going to find this out right now. Run Disney, where are you? Where is your Instagram post? We're going to go search Run Disney. Yeah, because that's Mirabelle. Wait a minute. What's going on there? That's Mirabelle right there. So I don't know why they would say Louisa. Unless it's like the time I had a friend who used to work at corporate, and she used to send me things and say, she used to say, "Oh, like, is this true? One of my coworkers just wrote this article and it's going on the Disney Vacation Club website." I was like, "No, that hasn't been around for 3 years." So for the short while that she was there, she was there for probably like 6 or 7 months. And I became like the hidden correspondent for Disney, where they were literally writing to me and asking me different things like, "Hey, who's this character?" or "Hey, who's this?" And yeah, it was. I think it was fun. I didn't get paid at all. They took away the Nemo overlay outside. No more mine. Yeah, no. Well, it's just being refurbed. So, like my friend who works there said, it will be back in the next few weeks. Last time they took it away, it was gone for 3 months and then it came back. So they're just doing retweaking, repainting, and all that other stuff. And then it'll be back. There is a website out there that I highly recommend that no one ever trusts or listens to. And they keep on saying that it's being transformed into a different wall and blah, blah, blah. And that's not official. So, no, the website says Louisa. I know the difference, but the Run Disney website shows that. You tell them, Frank, I just came down here to surprise you. We're up here. I think they have an issue with the website. Disney doesn't know their characters. All right, let's go to the next question. What should I watch on Disney Plus tonight? Once Upon a Studio, because I'll be watching that probably tonight at some point. And then, that's a good question. Someone out there just throw out a decade, and then we'll come to a conclusion based off the decade. I'm going to see what am I watching on Disney Plus. Yesterday, I watched Meet the Robinsons because I think Meet the Robinsons is just a great film that's very underrated. So you could watch Meet the Robinsons. Hey, Joe. We have the 50s, we have the 2000s. You just watched Treasure Planet 1990s. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna do a game. We're gonna figure out exactly which movie the Frank fam should watch tonight on Disney Plus. We've got 3 options. We got the 2000s, the 50s, and the 90s. Okay, I'm gonna choose a video or a movie from each one of those decades, and then based off of each one of those decades, you are going to vote for which movie you think the Frank fam should watch tonight. I think this is a good idea. And we'll never know if she actually watched it or not. So it's a win-win-win for everyone. Okay, I'm pulling up here. We got 2000s. I'm just going to go through and figure out what... Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. That's my 2000 suggestion. So 2000s. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. We have the 1990s. Right away, I was thinking of one movie, but then there's another movie that popped in my head too, and I'm just kind of scrolling through to see if there's another one that. Now we're gonna go with my initial thought. My initial thought was A Bug's Life. So A Bug's Life for 1950s, and then for the 1950s, again, there's one that popped up right away in my head, which is funny because it's not the one that I usually have pop up in my head right away. Usually what would pop up in my head would be Peter Pan. However, the one that popped up in my head this time was Third Man on the Mountain. Most people are probably like, what's that? So those are your three options. People in the chat room, you guys are going to vote. We either are going for Pirates of the Caribbean, A Bug's Life. I was like, wait, what was the second one? A Bug's Life or Third Man on the Mountain. And in case you need a recap of all three of these films, A Bug's Life tells the story about Flick, a bug that just wants to help everyone else out there in the world, all the other ants. And then, of course, he has an invention and it makes things go bad. And then Hopper and the grasshoppers come through and they have it so bad things happen. So Flick goes off to find a group of army ants to help save the day. And instead, he gets a bunch of circus performers. Pirates of the Caribbean tells the story of Jack Sparrow, William Turner, and Elizabeth Swann as they go through trying to find the curse of the Black Pearl, or they have the Black Pearl. They're trying to have it so they can undo the curse of the Black Pearl with a bunch of pirates that are undead. And then the Third Man on the Mountain tells the story about, what's his name right now? It's James MacArthur's the actor. Rudy's the kid. And he just wants to climb the Matterhorn. It's the Citadel. It's the Matterhorn. And no man has ever climbed to the top. His father died while trying to climb to the top. And that's all he wants to do. And eventually he attempts to climb it. So there we go. So we have Pirates of the Caribbean, A Bug's Life, Third Man on the Mountain, Pirates the Ugly Dachshund, Bug's Life. Kids are teenagers, so we're good with anything. Oh, wait, right now. So we got one vote for Pirates, one vote for Bug's Life, one vote for Third Man on the Mountain, another vote for Pirates. So it looks like Pirates, we'll give you guys like 30 more seconds to vote. Pirates is good though. I do like Pirates. It looks like Pirates. You're gonna watch Pirates of the Caribbean tonight. Curse of the Black Pearl. And then tomorrow you can watch Dead Man's Chest, and the next day you can watch At World's End. And then if you want to watch the other two, well, the fourth one is not good. On Stranger Tides, not good. But I do like Dead Man Telling No Tales. Yay. Together we can achieve anything. All right, let's do two more questions, and then we're going to wrap up tonight's show. So next two questions to come through are going to be the last two questions of the evening. So choose wisely, but ask quickly because someone else might beat you to the thing. Meant to write Pirates, then watch The Ugly Dachshund. Okay. I thought it was Pirates of the Ugly Dachshund. The Ugly Dachshund. The dachshunds are the ugly dogs, in my opinion. The other dog, that's the ugly dog, is the cutest dog of them all. So, but that's a good movie too. That's Dean Jones and Susan Pleshette, right? Susan Plechette's in that one, right? The two of them did quite a few movies together. All right, we got two questions that we're waiting for. Any and all questions are greatly appreciated. So throw your questions in the chat room before we wrap up for the evening. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Okay. Are you running all the races? I am. And what corrals did I get? I don't know yet. We don't get that until we check in for the expo. So we'll count that as one question. So we'll take one more question after that. So are you running all the races? Yes, I'll be running all of them. Right now, I'm only missing one race that I have not signed up for from now until the springtime surprise, and that is the Disneyland 10K. So I keep on, there's an app that I have that sends me alerts whenever a race entry opens up. And unfortunately, today when I was on the plane, it opened up twice. But I was on the plane and I missed it both times because I landed and all of a sudden I started getting all these alerts. And it was like, hey, the Disneyland 10K is open. Hey, the Disneyland 10K is open. Hey, I'm like, no, how did I miss this? So unfortunately, I missed it. So I'm still not into that race. But yeah, I'm signed up for all 3 wine and dine. And then in January, I'm signed up for the Dopey Challenge, which is the 5K, 10K, half and full. And then the following week, I will be going out to Disneyland and doing the 5K and then the half. I'm trying to get a 10K still. And then for Princess Half Marathon, I'm signed up for the 5K, 10K, and half. And then Springtime Surprise, I'm signed up for the 5K, 10K, and 10 miler. So, yeah. Okay, any other questions out there? Otherwise, we will wrap up our show for the evening. I think we're going to be wrapping up here. All right, so on that note, I would like to remind you guys, for the first time ever, we are saying it here, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon pals. If you want to become a Patreon pal as well, just go follow or go to patreon.com/Brent Dodge, I believe. Otherwise, send me a message and I'll send you information on how to become a Patreon pal. And of course, as always, thank you everyone out there for joining us once again this week. Please keep on spreading the word about the Wednesday show and From Screen to Theme. And if you need something else to watch tonight, besides Once Upon a Studio, Pirates of the Caribbean, I also recommend a little video on YouTube by Brent Dodge called Once Upon a Studio Breakdown, scene by scene, or every character scene by scene, or I don't know the exact wording of it. But go check out my breakdown of Once Upon a Studio. It is getting closer and closer to having that 543 likes that we want in order to go through the final picture that we talked about all last week. So make sure we talk about it. We will need a jingle. I like that idea. We will get a jingle for our Patreon pals. Like, sometimes they smile, sometimes the whale. Tonight's show's by the Patreon pal. Yay. Okay. But as always, I hope everyone out there has a great night. And remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next week, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Are they are they gone? Are they gone? Oh good, my cheeks are just killing me. I just can't stay